Hola muchachos, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Señor G here. Let's go over the subjunctive or the subjunctive mood. If you're looking at the series of subjunctive videos we have here, this might be a good place to start because we're talking about the nuts and bolts of the subjunctive, that is the conjugation. But first, let's talk about the meaning of the subjunctive. There are four tenses in the subjunctive. There's the present subjunctive, the imperfect subjunctive, the perfect subjunctive, and the pluperfect subjunctive. We're going to focus on the present subjunctive here and leave the other subjunctive tenses for our companion videos. But digging a little bit deeper into the meaning of the subjunctive, we're talking about uncertainty and doubt and emotion and subjectivity as expressed by the speaker. Basically, we're talking about things that may be unreal or uncertain, and we cover that more on the What It Is video of the subjunctive. For now, we're going to focus on the nuts and bolts, or the conjugation of the subjunctive in the present tense. So once we're comfortable with what the subjunctive mood is, we want to turn to conjugation. What we really want to know is we want to know the formula for all the endings. That's the fun part, isn't it? Filling in all the blanks on the homeworks. So let's go ahead and look at that formula. It's really pretty simple, and the good news is it really doesn't change much when we get to the stem changers and spelling changes and all those other changes. Here's that formula. It's really pretty easy. Just go back to the present tense. In the O form, drop the O and add the endings that you see below. We'll practice that in just a minute. But we'll also use this same formula for those old irregulars like the spelling changers and stem changers. Alrighty, let's put those endings on an AR infinitive, hablar. First thing we do, we go back to the present indicative yo form, hablo. Let's drop that O, and here's the endings. Notice the first person singular and third person singular are the same. This almost looks like we're conjugating an ER verb in the present tense, doesn't it? Not quite, though. And back to our infinitive. Alrighty, let's try that again, this time with an ER verb, aprender. We'll go back to the present tense indicative, yo form, drop that O, and add our present subjunctive endings. Here we go again. The yo form and the la usted form are the same. Looks a little bit like we're conjugating an AR verb in the present tense indicative, doesn't it? Not quite, though. The last one. And back to our infinitive. Okay, let's fill in our conjugation chart with these three verbs, an AR, an ER, and IR infinitive. Notice the little angel there. That means these verbs follow the rules. Putting them side by side, if you're comfortable conjugating in the present indicative, it ought to be a snap to conjugate in the present subjunctive. Check it out. These stem changers from the present indicative also follow our present subjunctive conjugation rules. It's even the same in the nosotros and vosotros forms, except check out the little diablo for the stem change for IR infinitives. Remember that some verbs had spelling changes just in the yo form? We're going to keep that model and use it to conjugate through first person, second person, and third person, singular and plural. Here's one special category we do a little bit differently. Infinitives ending in CAR, GAR, and ZAR. We're going to go back to the first person preterite and use that as our model. We'll drop the accent mark just like we were doing formal commands, and we'll use that as our model throughout first person, second person, and third person. Here's some infinitives that you're just going to have to memorize the conjugations. That's the bad news. The good news is that they're pretty common ones.